How I get $25 plus RPMs with AI ultra long form content, copy my exact strategy. Now guys, this video is going to be going into my exact strategy to consistently hit $25 RPMs to upwards of $40 RPMs with ultra long form YouTube content. Now, honestly guys, between you and I, this will probably be the most valuable video I've ever posted in the YouTube automation space. It's going to cover the gatekept methods, the best ways, and exactly how I've personally done this. Like just for example, there's a few people in my program right now currently getting $25 RPMs like Sam from today, who just sent me this screenshot of him getting a $24 RPM, of him getting a $24 RPM on his brand new ultra long form channel. That again was made with my personal software. And again, you can see here $21 on 381 views with a $40 CPM. Now guys, before we get into this, if you want to join my public Discord server, that's discord.gg/1%. Again, just a super cool networking environment, and it's entirely free to join. And as per usual, guys, this is not financial advice. It's simply me giving my own opinion on the current state of YouTube. Now, first things first, how do we actually get $25 RPMs and $40+ RPMs in Q4? Now again, guys, keep in mind that screenshot that I just showed you from one of my students is actually as of right now, and we're sitting in Q1. So if you guys don't know what that means, obviously at the start of the year, the RPMs are a lot worse than they are at Q4. And if the RPM right now was like, let's say $20, it could easily double, if not even a little bit more than that in Q4. Now, the way we obviously get $25 RPMs is quite simple. There's a few ways to do it. Now, the most obvious way is simply doing ultra long form content, and I'm going to be going into a little bit more depth on this later. But essentially what this means is videos that are over an hour and a half long to upwards of 4 hours plus. Now there are a few other ways to get RPMs this high. It's not unheard of, and that's simply by doing like finance content, dropshipping content, and similar stuff to that. But again, it is nowhere near as evergreen and realistic as ultra long form. So here are some examples of channels with $25 RPMs. I know some of you guys might already know this, but again, I want you guys to really understand exactly what I'm talking about before I get into this. So the first channel with a $25 RPM, if not even more than that, would be this channel here, Life Beyond Scene. Now, he essentially posts ultra long form videos, 3 to 4 hours long, on like deep ocean facts. And again, these videos are 100% made with AI. Like what fossils in Antarctica reveal about the megalodon, documentary for sleep. Now, the reason why ultra long form content as a whole has such a high RPM is of course because the videos are so long, they're able to place far more ads than you would be able to place in a regular long form video. And of course, people are actually falling asleep to the content for the most part when they are watching and digesting ultra long form content. So again, they're far more likely to digest a massive amount of ads simply because they're not even watching the content, they're already asleep. Another example of a ultra long form channel with a $40 RPM, I actually know their RPM because I've spoken to the owner, is Vembo. This guy literally just posts Minecraft gameplay videos with him talking over the top, like Reddit stories and Minecraft to help you chill. He literally has a $40 RPM, and again, this channel has made about 3 million views in its whole lifetime, only starting 6 months ago. So 3 times, let's say, a $35 RPM, this one channel has made close to $100,000. And again, I know the big question is, how do we actually get these? Don't worry, I'm going to be showing you in a second, but the last channel I want to show with an example RPM of $25 would be Egush. Very, very similar to Vembo. He's also posting Minecraft gameplay to fall asleep to. Like, if you find this, it's time to rest. If you're seeing this, it's time to sleep. Literally just him making really chill Minecraft gameplay. And again, the RPM on this content, people use it to fall asleep, ultra long form, English-based, upwards of $25. And guys, really quick, if you want to join my one-on-one mentorship program where you get direct access to myself and all of my custom tools like Produce.so, which I personally use to generate ultra long form videos in minutes. This is what all my students use. This is how they're getting those insane RPMs. Go ahead and check out monetize.net/start. Go ahead and book a completely free call with myself. Watch this 15-minute video for completely free. Book a free call, and if you seem like a good fit, we'll definitely be in touch. Now, the first way to actually optimize your RPM, and I want to make this clear, this isn't just for ultra long form. If you're doing regular long form, the methods that I'm about to show you are still going to work 100%. But ultimately, if you are doing this in ultra long form, it's going to be that much more optimized. The first thing, English-based content. This goes without saying. There's a reason why lo-fi ultra long form channels, like for example, Quest and Rest, this guy posts videos like let your worries fade, let the rain stay. Now, even though the videos are longer than the average ultra long form video like Space Dust or Vembo or any of these guys, even though it's longer, the RPM is actually lower. And the reason for that is because there's no talking in the videos. If you don't have English-based speaking, like actual audio from like an English person talking, you're simply not going to have as high of an RPM because the viewers can range from all over the world. There's no barrier to entry. Whereas when you're posting in an English-based demographic, the majority of the time the people watching speak English, meaning they're more than likely from a first world country. country, which again, from an advertiser's perspective, they spend a ton more money targeting first world countries than they would if the views were from like India or Pakistan. So again, this channel right here could literally only have a $12 RPM, even though it's 8-hour long content. So again, I don't want you guys to be too misled by this. You can even get a good indication of how a channel is kind of based in the demographic wise if you look at the comments. Like here we can see a bunch of Russian text. You can also see that people are from France and obviously from Turkey and stuff like that. So when you see a channel that has a massive English-based demographic, it's a good indication that the RPM is probably extremely high. So again, the first way is simply targeting a niche that has English-based content. Now, the next way, and this is something that literally blows my mind that people don't know this, but it is so underutilized and actually pisses me off. Now, if you guys don't actually know this, you can select how often you want ads to play in your YouTube content. Like, let me show you, for example. This is what most people actually do. When they go to post a video on YouTube, you can obviously click on monetization, and this is when you're actually posting. And as you guys can see, most people just literally turn it on and do nothing, and this is a massive issue. Like, let's say for reference, this video had a $10 RPM if I use this. If I just did this method that I'm about to show you, this video would have a $20 RPM. It literally doubles, or if not triples your RPM by doing this small little tweak. And all you have to do is click on manage ad rolls. And as you guys can see, this essentially allows you to insert ad slots, or AKA how often ads will play. Now, this is what so many people get wrong. I don't even want to think about how much money people are missing out on by not utilizing this. Get the Chrome extension, YouTube Ad Placer. Again, this is not sponsored. You can select how often you want to place an ad in your video. So I'm obviously going to do every 30 seconds. This is roughly what you should be doing. Again, I want you to keep in mind, no, this is not going to mess up your average view duration. It actually makes no sense because YouTube will still not actually place it every 30 seconds. They're only going to place it as often as YouTube will see fit. By placing this, you'll see just how many ad slots we spam in this video. And then if I obviously go ahead and continue and save it, now that specific video is going to have a much higher RPM than it would have beforehand. And again, it makes zero difference to how you're posting the content. Like, it's not like you're going to get less views by doing this. And again, this is something that is so underutilized by people. And if you think about it, when you're doing an ultra long form video, there might only be 10 ads throughout the whole video. But by doing this, you're making that like 100 ads. And so many people don't actually do this. And it's the biggest killer. Now, the next thing, and this is very underutilized as well, and I have no idea why. So it is actually called alcohol and gambling ads. And I'm not going to go too much into depth because I don't want to drag the video along, but this is very simple. Now, every single time you have a monetized channel, and this works for any niche as well, guys, I want to make that crystal clear. By default, you're going to have something called alcohol and gambling ads disabled. And that's essentially if we head over to ad categories and then sensitive categories. Whenever you initially get monetized, alcohol and gambling are always going to be blocked. Now, let's say, for example, your RPM was $10 before doing this. By simply pressing unblock on both of these and saving, your RPM can quite literally probably go about 30 to 50% higher from just doing this little trick. And again, I don't see enough people talking about just how insane this is. And again, I want to make this crystal clear. Anybody can do this. This is not limited to ultra long form. If you're doing regular long form, this is still going to make a difference. And again, the reason for that is because people that own alcohol companies and gambling companies pay a lot of money to acquire customers. And that's just one of those extra little tricks you can do. But by implementing all of these tricks I'm about to show you, you will see an exponential spike in RPM. I want you guys to try it. If you have any channels that you aren't doing this on, change all of these things, give it a go, and tell me the results you see. Now, the next thing, and we briefly touched on this before, but this is arguably the most important factor. And that is, of course, targeting first world demographics. Now, what I mean by this is, let's say, for example, you're looking for an ultra long form channel to start, or even a regular long form channel, for example. Let's just look up something like Law to Fall Asleep To. You want to make sure that the niche you're targeting has a high US demographic. Like, for example, I'll give you guys a really rough example. A show like Family Guy, that is primarily shown in obviously the United States, Australia, Canada, first world countries. So that obviously means that the majority of viewers digesting that kind of content are obviously going to be based in those first world countries as well. So for example, if we look up Law to Fall Asleep To, Family Guy, you will see a ton of channels that obviously post Family Guy videos to fall asleep to right here. And because the demographic is so highly US based, it's going to have a much higher RPM. Now, there's a few ways you can kind of check this. First thing is just by using your own knowledge and checking where the majority of viewers come from. Now, for example, a way we can do this is go on ChatGPT, and I can say something like, Family Guy has a massively high US demographic. What are some other shows that target first world countries? Now, by doing this, it's going to give you a ton. It's going to do its own research and obviously tell you shows that have a high Western Western market demographic and presence, obviously. So for example, South Park, American Dad, BoJack Horseman, The Simpsons, and obviously going to give us a ton of sitcoms as well. So this is actually a really good way you can kind of figure out if the niche or the idea you're kind of getting into has a high US demographic. And now I can literally say, what are some with low US demographics and more third world? Like for example, Squid Game, Money Heist, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto. Actually, anime has a super low kind of American Western demographic because of course it's based in Japan. And as you guys can see, this Family Guy channel is absolutely printing. I mean, they're posting consistently and pulling in a crazy amount of views doing ultra long form Family Guy videos. Matter of fact, this is a pretty good channel to copy. Now, again, guys, if you want to work directly with myself and get access to my personal tools, like again, I own Produce.so. It can literally generate 4-hour-long, ultra-long-form videos in minutes. We have so many people getting monetized right now using it. They're literally generating 3-hour videos. And they have subtitles, they have music, background content, everything. Again, if you want to get complete access to this, check out monetize.net. Go ahead and fill out this form, book a completely free call with myself. And if you seem like a good fit, I will be in contact. Again, if you guys want to join my public Discord server, that's discord.gg/1%. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned something new. Have a great day.